Good evening. I am starting by speaking about what it says right here, Ireland's housing crisis, which was left out in here, what needs to be added in, or can just be added in right now, is that it's not just a housing crisis, it's also a health crisis. I will get into that as we move forward. Jumping right in, I'm going to start by speaking about the economical issues. I'm not going to read right off of this. You're able to read it yourself. But mainly the issue is that over the last 2 to 3 decades, there's such an issue with the housing there, like how it is in America. Um, the cost of living goes up, but also there's so many people that live in this country that there's not enough housing for people in this country. Um, there just isn't enough development as far as housing goes. Like there's not how we have in America. There's not a lot of Section 8 housing. There's not a lot of places just for these people to live. With that being said, is that this leads into there's so much homelessness that is very apparent in this country that's led now into a health crisis. You got homeless people that live out on the streets that don't want to vacate the not the company, the country, excuse me. Um, they can't even get medical attention. Trying to go to get medical attention, seeking any sort of help. You go into a hospital, these people can't even, these doctors and nurses can't even afford to live in the country, don't have anywhere to live, which has made it so they have to go to a whole different country or they have to just leave the country entirely, which are it's both working hand in hand against each other that you can't help anybody if you don't have anywhere to live and vice versa. Obviously, the best thing you can do or to think of is that for a product or service opportunities is you're going to start by having investors, people that could come in that could say work with these hospitals possibly, or just in general by pumping money into their government, if you will, to acquire land and then develop housing for residents. These builders are going to bring in jobs that can possibly give these people who are homeless or don't have jobs, give them opportunities so that they can actually be involved in with the country so they can take pride in what's going on. And you don't want to only have outside entities coming in because it's going to just cause a whole stir within the country. Some political hurdles that may get ran into initially is going to be the selling aspect of the development. If you have an outside entity coming in, you're gonna look at it's gonna be looked at as possibly a hostile takeover. People might end up being against it more so for it, not looking at the bigger picture that this is gonna do more good than it is gonna harm them. Um, the best way to get hopefully a green light because you can't just bring people in and start developing land or start doing what you want is by possibly just empathizing with these people asking, would you want your parents or your loved ones to be the ones that are out on these streets living here and not be able to get the help they can or not having the nurses or doctors so that they can actually get help in the way that that everybody deserves to get help in some way. So I think that's the best way politically to get through and actually get a yes across the board for most of these people. Cultural reception or issues. Initially, it's going to go like I said, right. It's going to be a culture shock. You're going to see people are going to be looking at land that maybe they might be against development, and it's not going to go okay. As you can say, it's see right here. It's I believe that a lot of these residents are going to be up in a tizzy. They're not going to if they're not the ones that are actually if say they are for it, they want to be the ones that are helping out by actually building and actually doing something for their country because unlike a lot of other cultures, people who live in in Ireland take pride in where they live at. They want to be a part of that and being part of the process. Um, I do think not just offering the homeless residents a job or an opportunity. I think just offering anybody that lives there the initial. You don't want to only bring outside entities in that they don't know who they are. Who they are going to look at it like who the hell's working on in my country that I don't know. They don't trust them. You'd rather have people who actually know the area to be the ones that are working on it. There's going to be cultural shock. Initial plan is something that can either be very good or very bad. Some of these residents, especially somebody they don't know is coming in. There could be strikes, potential riots, protests. The plan of action is pretty simple. Develop it and let these residents have a voice or opportunity to speak up and say what they want to see done. Lay out statistics on how it's going to be more beneficial rather than being against what's going on. And the odds are slim. You're not going to look at it, and they're not going to look at it and go, "Oh, we'd rather have a homeless out like population. We want new job. We want jobs. We want all this stuff coming in, coming out." So I think it speaks for itself in a way that these people are going to. The culture shock is going to be there, but it's definitely going to be something they're going to look at and go, "Okay, this is going to make more sense for us in the long term." Being fully transparent with them, give them a timeline, let them know how long these people are going to be here for, but also let them know that gives them an opportunity to be back on their feet and know that they're gonna have a job for X, Y, Z amount of time, or this was gonna happen. Like you want giving them a layout going forward, or from there is gonna be most beneficial for any party involved.